In the days of Herod, king of Judea, a new light dawned upon the earth. Far to the east, beyond the deserts and ancient rivers, a star appeared in the heavens, a sign unlike any other. It drew the gaze of wise men, scholars of the skies, seekers of mysteries, men who had studied the ancient writings and longed for the coming of a king. They set out on a journey of faith, traveling across barren lands, led only by the light of heaven. When they reached Jerusalem, they caused a stir among the people, asking, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and we have come to worship him." But their words brought unease. Herod, the troubled king, sat uneasy upon his throne. The thought of another king, a promised ruler, shook him to the core, and all Jerusalem shared in his unrest. Herod summoned the chief priests and scribes, demanding to know where the Christ was to be born. They opened the scrolls of the prophets and answered, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written, and you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Herod's eyes narrowed. He secretly called the wise men and questioned them, searching to know the time the star had first appeared. Then, with feigned reverence, he said, "Go, search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship." And so the wise men departed, but heaven's hand still guided them. The star they had seen rose before them, shining over the road, leading them onward until it rested above a humble dwelling in Bethlehem. When they saw the star settle, their hearts leapt with joy, joy beyond measure. They entered the house and beheld a wonder, the child with Mary, his mother. The king promised from ages past lay before them. Overcome, they fell to the ground and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures, gifts of gold, fit for royalty, frankincense, fit for worship, and myrrh, a costly fragrance that foreshadowed sacrifice. But in the quiet of the night, a dream came to them, a warning from God. They were not to return to Herod, and so with wisdom from heaven, they departed for their country by another way. When the wise men had departed, Joseph was visited once more in a dream. An angel of the Lord appeared and said, "Rise, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt. Remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." Without delay, Joseph obeyed. In the darkness of night, he gathered Mary and the child. Quietly, they left Bethlehem, slipping away under the cover of shadows. The road stretched before them, through desert and wilderness, toward the ancient land of Egypt. There they remained hidden, yet preserved, until the death of Herod. And Matthew recalls the words of the prophet Hosea, "Out of Egypt I called my son." But when Herod discovered that the wise men had deceived him, his fury burned like fire. Blinded by rage and fear of losing his throne, he sent forth soldiers with a cruel command: "Kill all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region, 2 years old and under." The cries of Bethlehem pierced the heavens. Mothers wept in anguish. Fathers clung to their lifeless sons. The streets were filled with sorrow, and a dark shadow fell upon the town of David. And the prophet's words came to life in that moment of grief. A voice was heard in Ramah, weeping and loud lamentation. Rachel weeping for her children. She refused to be comforted because they are no more. The massacre of the innocents stood as a grim reminder of the world's darkness, yet even this could not undo the purposes of God. Time passed. Herod, the tyrant king, was struck down by death, and once more the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in Egypt. "Rise, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who sought the child's life are dead. Joseph rose, as he had done before, faithful to obey. He took the child and Mary and returned toward the land of promise. Yet, when he heard that Archelaus, son of Herod, ruled over Judea, fear stirred in his heart. Again, God warned him in a dream. So Joseph turned northward, away from Judea, and settled in Galilee. They came to live in a quiet, humble town called Nazareth, a place overlooked, a place despised by many. Yet in this obscurity, prophecy was fulfilled, that he shall be called a Nazarene. And so, in the second chapter of Matthew, the story of the Messiah unfolds with light and shadow, with joy and sorrow, with worship and with weeping. From the treasures of the wise men to the tears of Bethlehem, from exile in Egypt to the quiet streets of Nazareth, God's hand is seen, weaving prophecy and history into his perfect plan. The King has come, protected by heaven, opposed by the powers of earth, yet destined to reign as shepherd of his people.